Hello, everyone, and welcome back to part 2 of my hero saga, where I'm talking about heroes in regards to rally strength, sanctuary battles, tower defense, wall defense, that type of stuff. I'm having a hard time with this one because there's a lot of details. It's mishmashed all together, kind of layers all on top of one another, and I'm really trying to peel things back and explain it kind of one layer at a time to help everyone kind of understand how it all meshes. In saying that, let's talk about formations, and let's get away from heroes for a moment, just to kind of help you understand the way that a battlefield is set up. Because in this game, you're winning battles based on morale. Morale is the game's way of trying to simulate a real world battle in which, you're sitting there in the middle of the battlefield, you're fighting away, and people are dying all around you, bullets are whizzing. That kind of shit's starting to scare you, and enough of your buddies and comrades have died to the point where it's like, holy shit, I'm too scared. I can't keep going on. I gotta run off like a chicken shit and go change my underwear. So that's what happens with morale, is basically you've killed off enough troops to scare your enemy into running away. How that happens is important, and part of how that happens is based on formations. Let's look at our Hall of War military operation formation preview. Once you hit Sanctuary 28 and you complete the research, you can complete research called Rider Formation or Shooter Formation. This changes basically the troop formation and where they stand. Okay? So there's rider formation, there's shooter formation. Okay? Everything starts out in fighter formation, and unless you've got the research opened up, unless you are playing with this type of stuff, you can expect this type of formation. Zombie layers are always in fighter formation. Sanctuaries that are level 28 and higher, you can start expecting them to change their formation, their defensive formations. All right, we're going off on a little bit of a tangent. Let's dive into an actual battle and talk a bit about it. It's important to know that during this battle, since we've got fighter formation up here, that means our fighters are up front. They are going to take the brunt of the damage. That means that when the first wave comes in of damage, those fighters are going to get smashed and hit and beaten and pummeled into the ground first. If, perchance, whoever it is that you're battling is strong enough to break through them, then the damage moves into the riders and it will pummel and smash and beat them down. If, perchance, morale hasn't been totally defeated at that point and the battle keeps going, then the damage will work into shooters. Vehicles are always last. Vehicles they just sit in the back. They never change their position. Why is this important? Well, hero tactical strength or tactical skills works based on the troops you have available and those troops matching the hero type. So let's go back. Quick recap. We have a hero, Ephraim. You see the little gun down on his little side. That means he is a shooter type. In order to activate his tactical skill, there needs to be at least one shooter hero alive on the battlefield in order for his tactical skill to activate. If we go to Obsidian, Obsidian has a little bike icon. He is a rider. That means he needs at least one rider troop alive on a battlefield. Okay, let's watch a battle and one that I lose in order to kind of showcase some stuff going on with all that. This one should be a good one. If you haven't learned this already, underneath the versus, you've got a little play button. Press that, and here we go. Here's a battle. So, down on the bottom, you're going to notice that I've got heroes. It looks like there's a little timer going across on their face, and then they kind of flash. That flash is the tactical skill being let off. Here early on in the battle, we've got everyone. Everyone's going to light off. Underneath our hero icons, we've got this little blue bar. That little blue bar indicates how many troops are still available on the battlefield. You can notice that Se Young, her blue bar is almost halfway gone. That is because she is a fighter, and she is representing the fighters that are out on the battlefield. And it is the fighters that are dying first. They are taking the brunt of the battle here. It is like they're just basically being obliterated. And now you can see that down on the bottom, she goes gray. What that means is that there are no more fighters alive now to activate her tactical skill. You can see on the end, I think that's Rand or Ryan, I forget how to pronounce his name. Anyways, he is a rider hero. We are getting into riders. You can see his blue bar is going down quite quickly. At some point now, riders are all going to die. He is going to gray out. You can also see my morale is dropping to 28%. My troops are getting absolutely obliterated and beat up as they're going on. And he is grayed out. No longer will he have a tactical skill. My shooters are still up and going. We haven't hit them yet. The blue bar, you can kind of see it starting to go, but my morale is going to run out before that happens. Okay, so you've kind of seen how that works. It's interesting because if you are setting up your own rallies, so like most people, we talk about running your heroes and focusing on a troop type. All right. If you focus on a troop type, let's go back. We didn't want to go to the world. We wanted to go back to formations and talk about that type of stuff. So, as we just saw, here, fighters die first, then riders, then shooters. Okay, so if you are a fighter-focused type of person, let's back up a little bit. We need to know one rule before we dive into things about tactical skills, and that one rule is 4 of the same heroes. I'm screwing all this up, getting all my words. I really should script this stuff, but here you are. I'm doing this all in one shot, one take, no editing, no script. So you get to live with all my debauchery of making mistakes. Let's more rewind stuff and take a quick moment to reset here. All right. The rule we need to know. Still screwing all this up. Okay. The rule we need to know. Troop types. 4 heroes of the same troop type, meaning if we are fighter focused, 4 fighter heroes will have a tactical. If we put a 5th fighter hero in there, that fighter hero's tactical will do nothing. You can only have 4 of one troop type's tactical being active at the same time. But wait, if we're in a battle, we want to activate that 5th tactical. That is an important skill to do because it adds strength. So, if you are a fighter troop focused battle person, That means that your fighters are up front, your fighters are good and strong, they're beefy, they're strength, they can take a lot of damage, they can take a lot of hits before they die off, and chances are, no matter what you're battling, they will stay alive. Because they stay alive, the troops behind them will stay alive as well. That means that we could use a rider hero, or I prefer to use a shooter hero because it's even further back. When you set that up, you don't need a mass amount of troops. Okay, the general rule of thumb is you start at about 2,000. You watch your little videos to see and make sure that your little icons are blasting off, and you are trying to keep troops alive for the whole battle. When you're doing zombie rallies and stuff like that, it's pretty predictable. You can get down and most people can get away with one troop. So if you're a fighter person and you have a rider for a secondary hero, you can send one rider. If you're using a shooter hero as your fifth hero, you can send one shooter hero. I like to encourage people to send about 50 because if you get into bigger battles, more sanctuary stuff, this is where you might need a few extra of the secondary troops in order to help push things along and last. But again, you have to watch the videos in order to see what's going on. If you are a rider focused person and you do not have rider formations opened up yet, you will want to use a shooter as your secondary. Why? Because shooters sit behind. We're focusing right now on solo rallies and solo layers and solo attacking and just you sending your own troops. So that mechanic works in that sense. So you send your riders, you have a shooter. If you're a fighter, you could use a rider or a shooter. You can generally get away with one. Okay? If you are a shooter focused person like myself, you're fucked. Because shooters sit all the way at the back, there is no way to keep troops alive long enough to have the fifth tactical operate. It's just not possible until you get the formation preview opened up and you can put your shooters up front. Okay? As a solo player running your own rally just by yourself with people sending you taxis to buffer the damage, there is no way to open up have a fifth hero activate as a shooter type. So let's recap. Fighters, you could send one, you can run a rider hero with one rider troop as a rider, or you could do a shooter hero to have it and one shooter. If you're a rider focused person, you can send a shooter along with a shooter hero. When we look at that type of setup, it looks like this. Troop form set, so riders. We've got Rain, Percival, Dom, Doc Gray, and then Requiem is our shooter. I generally like to run a hero that has a troop boost, because in this formation, that troop boost is going to help not only boost the shooter that's in there, but it will help add some strength to our riders. Okay? If we go back here, let's look at a fighter formation. We have Seyun, Ulrich, Noct, Barbie, and then Requiem. Again, troop, going to help add a little bit to the fighters, helps add a little bit to the shooters. There we go. All right. That's how, these are the kind of lineups. This is the type of thing that is going to allow you to have all 5 tactical skills running. If you're watching this and you don't have the heroes that I have shown at +5, you really should focus more on those heroes first before you're focusing on some of the other heroes. And you should be doing that because if you go here, Noah's Tavern, click on the little puzzle piece. The heroes I've shown and the lineups I've shown all allow you to access heroes and hero frags for free. You don't have to pay anything. You don't have to complete special tasks. You can work your way into getting all those types of heroes here. They are the cheapest heroes to max out. And once they're at +5, they are hard to beat. Just to be quite frank, you can be running a lot of those heroes and they will be strong. They will be a lot stronger than some of the more fancy heroes, 5 stars and things like that. Just because of the tactical skill strength. Did I do something with my video? Okay, sorry, I thought I lost my little tab that allowed me to stop this video. 15 minutes long, this video has gone off on a tangent here. Okay. If you've watched this far, hopefully things are about as clear as mud, maybe a little bit more refined than that, and maybe we can get things a little more clear as we go on in the next video. Cheers.